It's a little bit shaky. Whew, I'm going for a big walk. It's a very, very big hill. Well, it's not a huge hill. It's not a mountain, but it's a hill. And this is it. Oh, I'm getting people joining me now. Now, first time I've done this before, so it could be a disaster. I don't know what. Ah, wow, what a view. Yes, hi. It really is. So I'll just quickly take you around this way. From Phoenix, Switzerland. How cool is this? Don't know where the sun is in your part of the world right now, but it's just risen where I am, and I got a spectacular picture of it just using my phone. And I realize it's a bit shaky, so I'll just get up here and I think I'll stop walking because the shakiness is probably triggering some people. But yeah, I got a beautiful photo of it, the sunrise. Actually, I'm not sure if you can see this. I'll quickly turn the camera around. So that's what I see. And if we go over here, we just got more hills. Yeah, so pretty. It really is. And this is a, back in the day when I used to be like somewhat fit, I used to run up and down this hill, and it is 1.7 kilometers constant incline with an ascent of 130 meters. And I used to run up and down it, not just once. So it's a bit crazy. Now I just walk up it. But so the reason why I decided to do a live is because I figured some people want to just hear more of the chit chat kind of stuff, as opposed to you know, me thinking through your topic and talking about a specific topic. So I thought I'd give this a try. We'll see how we go. Yeah, why did you like torturing yourself like that? I don't know why I like torturing. You know what's funny? I actually really enjoy running. I know that's a very peculiar thing to do, and people who are runners will get that. And other people will look at that and just go, that's crazy. But I get a sore foot, unfortunately, every single time. I should probably go to a podiatrist. But now if I start running, I start getting this thing in my toe, and it just becomes too painful to run. So anyway, but I also thought, anyway, going back to what I was wanting to get at is I'm happy to answer questions as well. That's kind of like the main reason for the lives, to be honest. It means I can get to answering questions, and it's going to be the most convenient way for me to do that. So question away if you want. Otherwise, you can just sort of join me as I stroll up this hill. Belfast. It is crazy, isn't it? I mean, it wasn't that long ago since we could, it would have taken a lot of effort to be able to speak to people on the other side of the world, and now we're doing it live. I think it's, my friend actually was watching the British Open the other day, and he said the broadcast was, it showed a golfer teeing off, and I think it might have been like during a swing or something, you could hear a fart in the background. And my friend just couldn't stop laughing. He goes, I could hear a guy fart live on the other side of the world. I kind of think that's pretty funny. All right, I'm at the very top. So, to be honest, it's not that great a view from the top. I will put a picture up. Here we go. You can see the background there. I'll put a picture up on my stroll on the way up here where I saw the beautiful sunrise later on. All right, let's see if I can read. Oh no, I just realized that they don't stay out very long. Really quite amazing to be able to broadcast from anywhere in the world. It really is. And even the thing, like my friend right now is, I think, in a plane right now. And I was thinking, that's even remarkable, isn't it? You get on commercial airlines and you think, oh, how boring it is. And you get, if you do it a lot, you sort of get over it. But if you're thinking about it, it's not that long ago that would have been just an amazing feat. That people just wouldn't see the sunrise coming, from above the clouds like that, flying at however many feet they do it, 10,000 feet or whatever it is. And my watch is saying I did some sort of walking achievement already, so that's good. All right, so fire away with questions. Otherwise, you're going to have to hear me ramble, and I didn't actually prepare many things to talk about. I will say I am feeling fantastic. I've been feeling great for the last, it's been a while now, but I feel like I'm getting even better and better. I've been working full days all week, which is sensational. Just my head's been a lot clearer. Been happier as well. I haven't been stressing about the diagnosis sort of stuff, so we lose and gain, civilizations change. Yes. I'm going to have to figure out how to get these comments to stay up longer. Oh, what possessed you to get up so early and walk for miles? I like that you used the word possessed. That was good because I think that's very appropriate. I'm a morning person, so I'll always sort of get up early. I do my exercise in the morning, so I don't like doing stuff like that in the evenings. And I just like, the world looks better at this time of day, I think. I feel like when I get out, even when I go play golf in the mornings, me and my mates, we usually go out and play very early. Even by sort of 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, everything looks a bit like, oh yeah, normal day. We're in the morning, it's got some sort of beauty about it, I think. So that's the reason for the craziness, I guess. Yeah, the morning sun is the most beautiful. Actually, that's a good point. I'm not sure, actually. The morning sun is stunning. I do like a good sunset as well, though. So, how your family coping with anything? Yeah, family are going good. It's been really great, actually. I've been interacting with my sister a lot more. We've been talking most days, which has been really great. It's not that we've been distant or anything like that in the past, but I think, the more you talk with somebody, the more you can open up and sort of say more things, and you talk about the everyday nitty gritty boring stuff, maybe even. And that boring stuff is actually the interesting stuff. So that's been really good. I've been enjoying that. And I'm so upset because I just can't see these comments don't last on the screen long enough for me. I try to prepare for this. I did a really good job in preparing. I even walked up, and if you saw my post that I did, I took a picture on me having an attempt of doing this. You can enable slow chat mode. All right, let's see if I can do that. If I suddenly disappear, it's because I'm trying to do that. How you do editing? Very nice. I love that I get questions about the editing stuff. All right, here we go. Let's see if I can do this. All right, here we go. This is now entertaining for you. I'm sorry you had to deal with this on the first time I do these sort of things. So, live chat, all messages visible. Yes, I got that part done. I'm wondering if I have to do that changing of setting outside of the actual live. Maybe I'll just do, here we go. Maybe I'll just press that. Oh my God, my hands are so cold. It's not registering that I'm pressing anything. Gorgeous Hill, yes, I think I might have done it. Success, possibly. Can you tap and drag down to keep oh, that's a good, oh, you can. You legends. You can just tap and press it down. Actually, this is quite sad. So at the top of this hill, we had a young person it was actually when I sort of moved to the area. I'll turn my camera around. I was trying to keep these things all positive and all happy and stuff, but at the top of this hill is a memorial for a person called Rowan, who died in a car accident. He played golf, so he's obviously a good person, and obviously drank a bit probably, but that's a memorial for him. I think he was forever 21, How sad is that? Anyway, so I can just press it. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to start reading some of these comments now. All right. So sorry if I missed ones. Oh, here we go. I'll start. Okay, got the early morning one. We've got. Glad to hear you're doing well. How are your family? So I think I sort of touched on that enough. We've got. Hello from Italy. I love this. Is so cool. You're an amazing person. Heartbreaking diagnosis. I'm just a normal person, and okay, this is a little topic thing too. With the heartbreaking diagnosis stuff, I'm a little worried with my channel. Like it's too much like, oh, this is all devastating and stuff. There's a lot more shit going on in the world, isn't there? Really, when you think about it. And I know people who are living through their loved ones with later stages will say it can be really bad. So that's not being respectful of that as well. But there's also just a lot of shit with happenings to people, like Rowan. You know, they're his parents. I think that's the worst thing that's going to happen. So anyway, I wonder if it does too. It sort of goes, okay. Do you have any habits or practices that help you stay so positive? No. That wasn't helpful, was it? I don't know. I kind of feel like, I just think having a realist kind of perspective on things is the best thing. I think catastrophizing and is the enemy of everything. So I think putting everything in perspective is the main thing. I'm actually seeing a psychologist though too, who has got me, I just started going to acceptance and commitment therapy, which I've heard about before, I know a little bit about, and I think will be really helpful for me. And I'll do a video about that anyway. So, but I think just acknowledging that, yeah, shit happens and life moves on. All we've got is the moment right now anyway. So I know it sounds very cliche, but at the end of the day, it's kind of the truth, isn't it? Been watching for a while, first time seeing you live. This is the first time I've done a live. So if you saw me doing a live in some other context, I'm not sure who was doing that, but it wasn't me. If anyone saw that. Now, how do I press? Here we go, got it again. Do you have any plans today, now that you're up and moving so early? Everyone's a little bit surprised about this moving early thing. The only thing that's irritating me about the moving early thing is that it's probably about 3 degrees right now. And now that I'm not moving, I'm starting to get cold. Yes, I'm actually taking the day off work and gonna go play golf, take my dad out. My dad is just turned 80 and we're just gonna hire a cart, a buggy, and he doesn't play golf, so he'll take his camera though and probably his drone, that's his thing. And he'll take that and I'll try and whack a golf ball around. But it's just gonna be one of those good father-son sort of moments that you have. I've just realized that my fingers goes across the screen every single time I do that, so that's gonna be annoying for people. I do have to do some work as well, so I better do that as well, but can you tap and drag down to keep the chat in the same place? Oh, whoever's like saying these things is a legend. Incremated antelope. I think I said that right. I love the name that people have for their YouTube channel, I guess, or not channel, just account. Remember to guard your privacy. Yes, this is YouTube telling me to guard my privacy. I'm trying to, that is one thing. I try to keep myself as not easily identifiable as possible, just because I don't know the consequences of one day people finding out who I really am or something, if that has some sort of implications for me in some way. So that's just me being probably cautious. But when people do ask me things like, you know, where do you live exactly, and sort of things like that, I don't sort of answer those. So if you have asked those sort of questions before and I sort of didn't answer it, it wasn't me being rude. It was just my approach of doing things while I'm completely new, especially to all this sort of stuff. Oh, that's such a weird camera ratio. That's interesting. So I'm going to probably cry when I see the camera ratio, because I'm all into that sort of stuff as well. The time and temperature. So right now it's 7:46. The temperature is bloody cold. I don't know the exact temperature. All right, here we go. So my wife Anne has EOA. I don't know what that is. And we have a YouTube channel too. We were convinced by the beautiful scenery you always have and try to set up our visual game. try to up our visual game on our videos. Cool. That's awesome. I don't know how many people actually care too much about the video quality side of things. It's shaking so much, and that's partly because I'm shaking so much. I wonder if I can... Let me know if it's driving you crazy. You know what? Don't tell me if it's driving you crazy, because I'll know later on when I try and watch this. And I'm trying to press the screen. I don't know how many people care too much about the video quality of things, to be honest. It's kind of my little thing as well. I want to make things look as pretty as possible. I can't do much about the person speaking, but what season is it? It's winter right now. So I actually got sunburnt yesterday though, which was nice. I haven't had sun on me in a while, proper sun. And I don't know how I got sunburnt, but even though it's winter, I can still get sunburnt. But yeah, it's just cold. I think it's so important to not compare our struggles. We're all allowed to grieve in our own circumstances. I think that's a really good point. I think you have a natural tendency, you know, well, I just did it before, didn't I? Because I compared. I said I'm not as bad as that, or I'm not, you know. And I think it's perfectly okay to struggle with whatever I'm going through and whatever you're going through, and be okay with that. We've all got our own sort of limit with what we can tolerate as well, and what's big for that person might not be big for the other person. But I do find it's nice to compare, to be honest, just because I think it puts any kind of issues in perspective for me anyway. That's what helps me. Hello from Iran. It's happening all over the place. I can see Cuz behind you. Are you golfing? I am going to golf a bit later today. But no, that's a memorial for a young person who passed away in a road accident nearby. My grandma has dementia, so it's nice to follow your journey. I think that's really cool. That's one thing I didn't expect, actually, when I started doing this, was... Like, I started this channel primarily for people who have got dementia, and so they can, that you're not alone kind of thing, and you can see someone else going through a journey that's similar to yours. But I've been really surprised from the very beginning how many people are saying, you know, I've got a loved one with dementia, and it's good to hear what it might have been like for that person. So really happy about that. I might take... Can I get a little indication from people if the shakiness is driving you crazy? Because I could hold it just in my hand, and I think it might make it less shaky. Because what I found when doing this is I'm borrowing my daughter's selfie stick, and I'm noticing that it's not completely stable, so any kind of movement does shake it. If you've heard, hi, just wondering if you've heard from the album Everywhere at the End of Time by The Caretaker. It's an LK album showcasing stages of dementia in abstract art and music. I will be honest with that one, is that I did have a look for that because people have made comments about that. And it was, I listened to like a little tiny bit and just thought, can you direct me to a song? It wasn't my kind of music kind of thing. And so no, I haven't. And it looks like a big commitment. Shakiness is no problem. Shaking isn't a problem. Oh, that's great. Doesn't bother me at all. Totally fine. Oh, that's lovely. Because it was bothering me a little bit, but that's only because I was worried about what you guys were thinking. All right, so let's move on from the Fraser being a newbie on doing lives and all the issues that I'm experiencing, and let's actually just talk. It's bad, but it's not enough to be bothered. Oh, that's great. So what I might do is stand here so you can get better light. Happy to hang out with you. You know what'd be really cool? This is the thing that I kind of thought with the live thing is that the only issue with it, because I watch other people do lives as well, the only issue with it is that you guys can leave comments, which is really great, but I can't hear and speak to you and things like that. And I kind of feel like we need like a massive Zoom meeting. I saw some other, again, sorry if I've missed questions. What was the longest run you did? That's a good question. So I was, when COVID hit, I got into running, and I was all ambitious to do a marathon. And I was running, like on the weekends, I was running sort of 25 Ks on a Saturday morning. And throughout the week, I was training like, I don't know, every second day I'd run up and down this hill that was really good. Again, people don't like running up hills, but I like running up hills for some reason. So I was getting all into it. And then I'd met my partner at that time. And then I literally just stopped running then. And then I sort of keep on, well, the thing is I just get this issue with my toe. That's the main thing. I really should see a podiatrist. But anyway, I have sort of taken it up each time since then. But each time I do that, after a little while, my toe goes. So then it goes. I just don't do it anymore. I feel like someone would obnoxiously play a blow horn if we got into a Zoom meeting. Yeah, I could kick him out, I guess. So we could do that, but I'd probably laugh first as well. Could you describe? Here we go. All right. Could you describe a few words where you are? I think it's easier to perceive a person as real instead of just a video when you know where exactly they are right now. So what I can tell you is that I am in the southern part of Victoria, in Australia, and it's a rural setting. So that's where I live. I live in a country town. Been here for probably 3 years now, I'd say. I love country life. I was in metropolitan area before that, and I just found it to be more isolating, where now I come out here and I'm interacting with the community a lot more. Like over the weekend, I'm in a brass band. I don't play in the brass band because I'm too shit, but I practice with them to get better. And over the weekend, we had a sausage sizzle, and the community are all around. We sold all these sausages. I was the person who was delivering, handing out the sausages. I was like, don't trust me with the money. I'm not great with numbers anymore, so I wouldn't want to be dealing with cash, to be honest. But and people paid by FPOS and stuff like that anyway. But again, it was just that getting out in the community part. I just absolutely loved it. And when I go for my walks, I do morning walks. People wave. My daughter said that the other day. Actually, she was back in Melbourne, and she went for a walk, and she said hi to a stranger walking past, and the stranger just looked down, and I don't like that. I do like that you can just wave to just acknowledge a person who's a complete stranger in the street, and you're not a weirdo by doing that. So that kind of encompasses what I like about living out here. I can see we've got quite a few people who have turned up, which is nice. A little bit, it's fantastic, really. It's quite amazing. You just come out to see some guy walk up a hill. So I really appreciate it. Yeah, and yep. I'd like to know more about the man instead of the illness. What were your biggest hobbies growing up? I'd like to know more about the man instead of the illness as well. I agree. So I was massively into golf. That was my thing. And I actually dropped out of school because I wanted to be a golf professional. Then I got depression. Mental health wasn't great. I think it's because my golf wasn't going too good. So the golf never panned out, but that was like all encompassing from year 8 onwards. And it's funny because as an older person, when I moved out here, this is before I had any symptoms and stuff, I started getting back into my golf and it was going all right. Like I can go out and shoot even par, under par. Usually when I play with my mates, most of the time I shoot under par, and I was just around a little 9, like a little short golf course and stuff like that. It's not much, but it was good to get back into that sort of competitiveness with that and just feeling good. And then, and yeah, it is a happy place for me. I feel like, and because we're playing in the mornings, I'm usually better in the mornings as well. So I'm clearer headed and stuff like that. So it's not affecting me too much. I noticed that when I played golf tournaments though, any kind of nervousness or anxiety, like I couldn't remember what score I shot in that hole and things like that. So I'd have to write down every little thing when I'm playing golf, and I'm thinking that's where I started sort of realizing something's not right as well with my cognition. So that's a bit upsetting, but yeah, now I just sort of treat the golf more as a social thing to hang out. Like I was having a hit with my mate, and I was like, I come out now just to have a chat with you more than the actual golf now, which is totally flip side than what it used to be when you're younger and you care about your score and things like that. So do you have a passion? Again, there's comments coming through. Oh, today's my birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Daisy. Birthdays are good, aren't they? I mean, any reason to celebrate, just do it. So birthdays, you can definitely do it, and no one's going to look at it like you're indulging too much. My wife and I would love to Zoom sometime and chat. What symptom of Alzheimer's do you feel the most noticeable right now? Is it right? My head has been absolutely fantastic. It has been so good. I'll just do some stupid shit. That's all. It's usually, and the funny thing is, eggs is my pet problem throughout the day. It sounds funny, like who cares? But if I cook eggs, I always leave them on. I forget about them. And I haven't been cooking eggs, so I haven't had that little reminder throughout the day of that. My daughter's been cooking everything. It's been amazing. She's on this, just making sure that we're living very healthy. And she has, moving beyond the normal foods and stuff that we usually cook at home. And she's been cooking some really lovely dishes. And so I just clean up and she cooks. But yeah, anyway, I haven't had that sort of little reminder with the eggs. I did buy a timer though, and that's been, every time I have cooked eggs, the timer's been really great because I just forget the damn eggs. That's funny. But yeah, as I said, I've actually been working full days, which has been amazing. You don't seem like a golfer. I'm an archer, and sometimes about getting those points and have a good time is so relaxing and fun. Yeah, you know what? The golfer perspective, there's different types of golfers out there, I guess. We're more just, yeah, I don't know how to comment on that one. So I saw this. G'day, Fraser. Thanks for all the videos. They help me more than you know. I'm defending my PhD thesis tomorrow. Oh, wish me luck. Yeah, good luck with that. There's just, you know what? If you know your stuff, you'll be fine, because no one in that room knows their stuff more than what you know your stuff. So for everyone else listening in the world who doesn't know what we're talking about right now, when you do a PhD, because I did a PhD, when you do a PhD, you're researching a specific area, very, very detailed understanding of that area. And when you sort of finished it, you then have to go and present it and talk about it, and you'll have a room full of other academics and researchers in there, and they're all there in your mind to critique the hell out of you, and to find any little hole in your reasoning and thinking and arguments, and they want to pick up on it. But the reality is that most people sitting in that room, because now I'm on the other side, because it was a while ago since I did my PhD, and now I'm the person sitting there listening to them, is that you just want the person to go well. You've all sort of been in that position before, and so you know that it's going to be scary for the person presenting, but you'll be fine. Just, you'll know your stuff. You know it way more than anybody else in that room, because you're the one who's invested your time and for the last probably 3 or 4 years, I'm guessing, learning about it, that specific topic. Oh, here you go. She got lots of backlash, but eventually it all gets worked out. Yet it can, people can get, again, it comes to egos. Some people do want to just show how smart they are as well. But it does work its way out. It'll be fine. He does look great with a bald head. Oh, not everyone can pull that off. Yes. I think it's funny when people comment on my looks, because I'm really not a very good looking guy, but it's lovely that the bald head thing is panned out, because it would have been really annoying if it didn't pan out, because then I'm stuck with it. There's nothing I can do about it, really. Also, one thing I wanted to comment too is, if you look at the comments right now and what you see on my channel, I have very, very lovely people who follow me, who watch my videos. I almost never get a negative comment. I'm not sure if you've noticed that, but and supportive of each other as well. So I don't know how common that is. I'm gonna itch my nose, sorry about that, but yeah, just really blown away by how positive everybody is, and nice. I know that's, why else would you be tuning into some guy talking about his dementia otherwise, but still. All right, weird question. Oh, I love weird questions. Do you ever get your IQ tested? You seem very intelligent given your background. Wait a second. Given your background, is that saying that my background's not from, okay. No, I haven't had my IQ tested. I don't think I'm very intelligent, to be honest. I think I kind of feel like I need to move because I'm getting cold, but then it's going to shake too much. No, I do have a brother, though, who is very intelligent. In fact, all my siblings are very intelligent. I would be the least intelligent out of the siblings. And I think I've always had empathy, though. I think that sort of emotional intelligence side of things is probably more, would be a strength of mine if I have a strength. But I've always sort of been able to, I feel anyway, my perspective, and some people might disagree with that, but I feel like I tend to see what I think is more important in things than worrying about, than trying to be super intelligent in an academic sense, I guess. But I don't know. I get surprised with how stupid I can be too. So you radiate kindness. Yeah. Well, you know what though? This is the other thing too. You put yourself on YouTube. You try and present yourself in a nice way too, don't you? Let's be honest. You don't well, I try and present myself in a way that I think's authentic and be transparent with things. But you're not seeing me. Like the other day, I was in a work meeting and my daughter knocked on the front door. She forgot her key. She was coming home and it was like bang, bang, bang. And I was like, oh, I can't get to it. I'm in a work meeting. 2 minutes later, bang, bang, bang. And I got up from the work meeting. I was like, what are you doing? So I was cracking it. So I wasn't too nice then. I got a feeling that I didn't mute myself as well. I think I was just on the phone call with my boss and stuff. It didn't make a difference, but I'm not sure if they heard. But yeah, I wasn't too nice then. I was fine. I wasn't doing anything wrong, but I've got here scientific field you work in. I think that's one of those ones where I feel like it's going to be. To be honest, you can probably easily find me, but I think it's that degree of information that you can give that would make it easily identifiable. So I'm not going to go into that, but it's a really good question. I'm just going to read some comments because otherwise you're going to be sitting here listening to me, watching me, looking all confused with my confused face while I read comments. So I think people's brains work so differently that it's difficult to quantify that into a single number. It's a bit sad that something like memory is valued so much more in our society than other traits. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't think you can quantify. I mean, I think there's wisdom as well. I think some people can, and that's where I think where the older I get, the more I appreciate listening to older people as well. Now, a person's IQ as an older person might not be super high, any individual. I don't mean older people have low IQ. I mean some individuals may not have a super high IQ, but they've got experiences. And those kind of experiences, I think, they're another form of intelligence, I think, and wisdom's a really important one. So, but memory is, yeah. One thing about memory, though, that I'm starting to realise also just how important memory is. Like, memory is one of those things that it's not just, there's different types of memory, like episodic memory, I know. Anyway, there's different types of memory. When you think about memory, most people think of it in terms of, oh, I remembered what I did on the weekend. Or, I remembered that I left the eggs on the stove. There's things like that. But memory is also just, like, it is everything in a sense, because when you perceive the world, when I'm looking right now, like I'm in this beautiful environment, the only reason why it makes any sense to me is because I've got an understanding of it, in the sense of I have a memory of what grass is. I have a memory what this fence here is. I've got a memory, I know what things are. So that's all based on memory. That's all based on me having something in my mind that goes, I know what that is, and I can categorize it into this thing. And because I can categorize it, it now makes sense. And so that's one thing that I haven't looked into, and I don't really want to look into it, but with the whole Alzheimer and dementia sort of stuff is, it gets really bad at the very end. And I don't know how much because my consciousness and awareness of my current situation, whatever that situation is at that time, is really governed by my understanding of what's around me based on my memory. If you haven't got your memory, it's what happens, All right, so we've got a lot of comments. I'm really so sorry that I'm not going to see them all. August 3rd, I'm turning 59 and have never had any health problems aside from pneumonia. I hope I don't jinx myself. You just jinxed yourself, man. What are you doing? You know what? One day we're all going to have a health problem. We're all going to be dead. That's a pretty big health problem, all right? So we're going to get there, but you're doing well so far, that's for sure. Oh, here you go. My daughter played principal cornet player in a brass band. She loved your country when she was traveling, but came back to England to hear her dad's diagnosis of early onset dementia. Oh, that's a bit too relevant for me, isn't it? You know what? I can't stand the brass band music. I hate it. So I got myself a keyboard and I've been practicing that a bit more. But I like the social aspect of it. The people there are just super lovely. And they know that I hate the music. I'm pretty open and honest with them. But they're all cool with it. I'm enjoying learning stuff. I'm actually going to make a video about that. I think it's a really important topic. I want to show that, you know, especially with the early stages and stuff, people you can learn stuff. You can still do stuff. And so I'm sort of pulling together a video now that's about that. Now that especially now that I'm feeling good, my head's great. I'm really motivated to try to tick off some goals, you know, do some things. So I can, here you go, hold my hand there, stop it shaking. So I'm going to make a video about me pursuing goals, doing things, and then seeing me through that journey, I guess, of trying to achieve those goals. Now that sounds probably better than what it really will be. It's probably still going to be a bit more of me sitting down in front of a camera kind of scenario. So I apologize for that. I know people probably want to see other things, but I've been getting my camera out while I do these things, though, these activities, and just recording it. And so you'll still see the live action of me trying to do things. I can't stop my nose running. You're going to put up with me sniffing and stuff like that. Here we go. I like this. I like negative comments too, because I think it's good to share everything. Or not negative, but I feel like a lot of older people aren't very smart, just opinionated, and are too fixated on the past and how things used to be, and don't want to adapt to change. Yeah, I think that's right as well. I agree with it. I think that's going to be me as well. I think it's going to be you as well one day. I think we're all going to be that way. I think there's some things I imagine with aging as well that are pretty common as you age, I suspect. And I wouldn't want to, you know, I think you always have a rosy view of what the past was as well. You know, generally, most people, I should say, most of the time will have a bias towards seeing things like the good old days, in a sense. Even in my own lifetime, I'm sort of feeling you can sort of see that as well a little bit. So I feel that way a bit. But I think, like with everything in life, we just can't make generalizations because everything's always so nuanced, isn't it? Some people have different experiences and stuff. So, all right, people are still hanging around. I've been talking for 44 minutes. This is nuts. We've got, oh, here we go. What's your choice of guilty pleasure meal? Oh my gosh. God. So my daughter, as I said earlier, been cooking me lovely meals. They've been fantastic. But there's not a single ounce of anything that's not, like, it's just, like, we're not adding sauces and stuff. She's making everything from scratch. And so there's no, so it's really nice, but I got to admit, and it's a bit boring in a sense. People are like, oh yeah, that's whatever. Just sugar, just feed me sugar. I love ice cream. I love chocolate. Yeah, ice cream and chocolate are my thing. So took my other daughter out to the movies. We watched the movies the other day, and don't tell my other daughter this so I got two daughters. One's the one who's making sure I'm eating healthy, and she's doing it more for her, but she's happy that I'm spending a fortune on these bloody healthy foods. But the other daughter isn't caring so much about that. So we went to the movies, and we watched Superman, which, by the way, is just a little expectation management for you people out there who hasn't seen the recent Superman. It is not the usual kind of thing, so I won't give anything away, but go into that movie thinking, okay, this is gonna be a bit different. Anyway, to go back to the story I was telling. What was I saying? We were eating. Anyway, in the cinema, we got all these amazing, not amazing, but just, I got myself 2 big ice creams. I got myself a big giant popcorn. I got myself, a Coke, or sugar-free Coke, but, really splurged out. So don't tell my other daughter we did that, though. She'd be a little bit upset. Yeah, cool. Don't tell the other daughter. Thanks for that. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I agree. Don't have to be 24/7 don't have to be like full on with stuff. Just everything in moderation. That's the main thing, I think. Don't you reckon? I think so anyway. That's how I sort of feel with life, with things, everything in moderation. Okay, I'm shaking so much. Maybe I should what I should do? Bear with me here. I'm going to set my camera up so I'm not holding it. I just had a brilliant idea. I can do that. Because this has a little stand thing. It might blow over, but this is going to be great. Now I can just stand here. Look at this. Come on, guys, you should have suggested this ages ago. It's like not quite the height. Oh, my hands. That's what was going on there. So, all right, I'm just going to press the screen so I can see comments. Heard that Alzheimer's is hereditary, for example, that it skips a generation and whatnot. Do you think that it has any basis? I don't know about actual Alzheimer's being hereditary. I got no idea, to be honest. I don't know. Probably should know more about these sort of things. I know that there's definitely a very small percentage of people with dementia, it's from hereditary cause, but it is a very small percentage of people. So musicians and stuff and other people who have had a diagnosis of Alzheimer's or dementia, I guess the fact is that I think 1 in 3 people will get dementia of some sort in their, obviously when they're a lot older. So there's going to be a lot of famous people who have had a dementia. Yeah, you seem cold, go home. It is starting to get a little bit that way. I might have to finish this up soon. Don't freeze us to death, I agree. Any major behavior shifts in the last year? No, I haven't had many. Some people really struggle, especially with, I think, frontotemporal dementia, I think it's called. So I think it's the part of the front part of your brain where you've got that sort of decision making and controlling. Can't think of what it is now, but I haven't had many things like that, so I'm very lucky with that. Genre of music and sort of things like that. Look, I like airy fairy music, cinematic orchestra kind of music. So Max Richter, I can never say his name, Ludovici Rinaldi or something like this, and that kind of music drives my kids nuts because they're like, there's no words in it and it's just piano or violin and things like that. But Yeah, I'm really liking it. It's music that I think it emphasizes whatever current mood state you're in. There you go, analogy. I'm trying to play I'm learning the keyboard, and so I'm trying to play like one of his songs now, the very basic version. All right, so what was something stupid you did that ended up in a funny story to tell? You know what, it is, okay, so I made a post recently that I want to do a video about the humorous, the funny side of dementia. And I'm very mindful that it needs to be respectful as well. I think some people will get upset if I do a video that is not respectful of people with dementia. And so I'm very cautious of how I do that video, but I think it's a really important video because I think that at the end of the day, you know what? Funny shit happens. People will have funny things that happen to them, and it's always good to laugh about stuff that happens. I think that's also not great. You know, sometimes things are humorous, and it's okay to laugh at things. And so, with that in mind, I've actually got an idea, and I've reached out to an organisation or a couple of organisations, and they both seem to be keen to get involved with it. But I won't give too much away, but it's going to be about younger people. So the children of people who have younger onset dementia. That's obviously a personal one for me because I've got kids, and I see how important it is for them, and they're the people I care about the most. And I kind of feel like hearing their stories is going to be really interesting and insightful and valuable for people to see. And so anyway, I've reached out to some organisations, and when that happens, I'll make some YouTube shorts where you're hearing from younger people, and part of that will be hearing about anything funny that happened to them that they can talk about their parent. I think that'd be really, really good. So I'm very excited about that. But as for me, that's the interesting part. When I created this post about let's show the funny side of it, I was actually thinking, I can't think of anything. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the video. I can't think of an actual story where I thought, oh, that was really funny. I guess it was funny the other week, when my daughter answered the door. We had a knock on the door, and there was these two police officers, and it just said, "Oh, is Fraser here?" And yeah, I forgot to pay for petrol. But it was quite funny because they were super nice. They were very, very friendly. There was no issue there. But when I'd gone off to get something, my daughter had said to them, he goes, "Oh, he's got Alzheimer's disease." Like that. And I think they had a bit of a laugh at the time as well. So that's a little bit funny. But to have police come at your door and, yeah, we could laugh about it. At the time, I was a little bit worried because of other reasons. But, yeah, it's funny to laugh on, I guess, afterwards. But really didn't tell that story very humorously, did I? Wasn't a good storyteller then. But, yeah, I can't think of things that are just, like, really funny. And I will think, I've just started the process of thinking about that video, and so I'll have to think more about it. I don't think you realise how much, like, there's a bit of thinking that goes involved with my videos. I do spend some time. I don't just create a video that sort of weekend. Usually the topics that I have in mind, I'll start a topic. I've got a little thing on my phone where I take notes, and I might have a topic there for like 2 months. And whenever something just sort of pops in my mind, I think, oh, that'd be good for that topic. I'll just go to the notes and I'll put it in there. So a lot of the videos that I do, not all of them, but most of the videos I do, they do have, that's probably why I sound smarter than what I really am as well, because there's a bit of thinking involved. It's not just me on the spot talking, to be honest. So anyway. Here you go. He doesn't have anything wrong with him. He's making so much money off you people. That's really, thanks, Stephen. That's a really positive thing to say. I haven't made any money though. That's the only problem. I'm not even monetized on this. But yeah, you highlighted a really good point though. I'm feeling really good. So glad of that. I think that's another thing too. I have a support group that I go to, and it's through Dementia Alliance International. And every once in a while you have these little moments where you realize the picture you have in your head of what dementia is not necessarily what it really is. So they had their annual general meeting, and I sat in the Zoom meeting with that and just listened to people introducing themselves, and it was just mind-blowing. I just sat there seriously in awe. Most of these people were people who were, they're still sort of youngish as well, most of them, and interestingly, a lot of them are very accomplished with things. So maybe that's why they're also sort of playing more of an advocacy role as well. I don't know, and it's an annual general meeting, so you can get the people who are more inclined to be in that meeting as well. But one person was still doing a PhD. They just started doing a PhD, and they got dementia. I just found it so inspiring to sit there and just listen to all these people who are very articulate, very switched on with things. And other times you'll and that's the interesting part too, is that other times when I've, like in our own support group, you'll have days where you can see someone's really struggling that day, and you're like, wow, they are different than what they were the last time I saw them. Like, they're quite different. So it is amazing how much you go up and down. And again, I know it's going to be different in the later stages, but in these earlier stages, it's just incredible. There's a lot more people walking around with this diagnosis than what you probably realise, because you wouldn't have known. And I think, as I said, for me, it really is the people closest to me. And my kids see it all the time. But anyway. I'm trying to press this thing. It's getting... Here we go. Here we go. Every time you post a video, we get to see you. Ever wish we could see us? Totally. Yes. I know that's what I was saying at the start of this thing, which I'm going to have to finish off soon. Been talking for nearly an hour. Yeah. It's the one thing. Social media is social to a degree, isn't it? It's not that social. So for me, I don't get to see you. I don't get to hear you, which is the downside of all this. It's still not. It's not social enough in a sense. Yeah. So that's where I think I'm enjoying life, because I'm having those social sort of stuff in my own everyday life, but. Yeah, it's been an hour already. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? All right, so I'm going to finish things off there. It's been an absolute pleasure. Yes, I'm super huge on your TV. Sorry about that. I should have still. I could trust it balancing, but anyway. Thank you so much for joining me on my first live stream. I might give them a go again, especially while my head's feeling really good. So I can answer questions well that way, I think. So I'll put a post up about the actual sunset that I saw, because it was just it was amazing. I was walking up here going, oh, I really should have said 7:15 instead of 7:30 in the morning here, because it looked magic. So I'll post that up, I guess now, or I don't quite know how this thing works now. I think it takes a while to save, whatever. I don't know, we'll see. First one, as I said, it's all a learning curve. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Don't know when the next video is coming out. Come out whenever I can get one out, and that's meaningful to make a good one, I guess. But yeah, okay. See you guys. Now I got to figure out how to turn the thing off. That might take me 5 minutes, so here we go. What's this button do? Oh, here we go. Oh, my hand is too cold